GM. Welcome everybody to Prop Culture with the Lil Reps. How's everybody doing? How you doing, Al, Baba?
Hey, GM.
Let's get everybody up on stage here who needs to be up on stage. And in the meantime, I'll sort of let you know what this space is all about. So Prop Culture is a soapbox here on the Noun Square with the Lil Reps. Al or Baba, can you tell us what the Lil Reps are all about?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Tody. The Lil Reps are a small group of little nouns that work on mandates. So we kind of represent the interest of the DAO. And our current mandate is voting on prop house rounds. So we want to meet builders, talk to them about their ideas, and see how we can support them with our 9 noun votes.
That's very cool. And so one of the best ways we can do that is by listening to some good pitches from Prop House, because that's where a lot of these votes will make the most impact. And so I'm pretty excited to see how this goes. We've got 5 folks who are scheduled to come on today. I see most of them here in the audience already. They're going to talk to us about their props in the current open round of the Nouns DAO Prop House, round number 12, which the voting for which closes on Monday. 35 proposals were received, so it's a pretty competitive round. And we've got a good cross section of different types of proposals to talk to today, expecting a couple more as well. And if you weren't invited to speak on this and you're here, keep your hand up and we'll see if we can get through a few extras as well. In the meantime, if you can retweet the room, that helps a lot to let people know what we're doing here. Even better if you quote tweet and explain why we're here and what we're doing. You can do that by hitting the bubble on the bottom right. It might be purple or white there on the bottom, little quote tweet bubble, and then you can quote tweet or retweet the room for us and get more people in here so that we can find out more about these awesome props. Alrighty, why don't we get started with our first pitcher? So we have JP here. Hey JP, can we do a mic check on you, please?
Hello.
How are you doing, JP?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you for inviting me for these spaces. I'm really happy to talk about my prop.
Awesome. So why don't you tell us which prop is yours? I believe it's prop 2243. Tell us about what that one is for and what you're planning to do with the funds if you get funded. And then we'll open it to questions from the Lil Reps.
Yeah, the prop is about a project that I created for the Make Nouns Go Viral prop house. It's called Find a Sticker in Portuguese. It's like Encontre o Adesivo, that means find a sticker. It's a TikTok project where I stick noggles around. So I recorded videos like sticking noggles and in many places, different cities, and people have to find it. Nobody found it yet, but I got more than 1 million views. So the proposal is to keep doing that. And
Wait, nobody found any of these yet from the videos?
Yeah. I mean, people are in the comments asking for the cities, but I did like in my neighborhood, like in Rio, I did it in my neighborhood, and a few other cities. But to people to actually find it, we need to do it like a lot to stick a lot of stickers. So
Right.
in many other cities too. Yeah, and the proposal is to keep doing that. Run a TikTok account requires time, so I need to work to test a lot. Going viral is not easy. You have to test a lot to try different formats and like songs and everything. So the proposal is to keep doing that, like for a month or two. This proposal is to keep doing that for a month, but as I'm Lil Nouns Prop House 2, if both proposals passes, I will do that for 2 months.
Cool. All right, so let me ask you a couple questions. So first of all, the original videos went pretty viral. What's your explanation for that? How did you get those to go so darn viral with the sticker compilation? Why do you think people resonated so much with what you were doing there?
Cool. That one was not the only one. That one got 900,000 views, but a few ones got like 50,000 and 10,000, 20,000. I think actually there are two things, actually. One is that people get curious to know what is that sticker means, like, and why I'm sticking there. So curiosity is the trigger. People get curious about what is this and why I'm doing that. But they got viral because I tested a lot. I mean, I uploaded a video and nothing happened, and I uploaded again, like, with different editing. So TikTok algorithm works just like that. You have to test and put different things, and yeah, that's the method.
So is it kind of like an A/B testing situation where you
Yeah,
try
yeah,
different?
totally. It's a A/B test.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I mean, the same video that I posted and nothing happened. I mean, I got 100 or 200 views, and then I just changed the text on the beginning or the song to a viral song, and things happened because the TikTok algorithm works like that. They showed it to a few people, and if those people engage with the video, they show to more people. So you have to test what people want to see and how that content you are making can go viral. That's the way.
Interesting. So if you were to be funded for this, would you continue on with the exact same type of videos? You would just keep making videos hiding stickers in different places, or would there be other content involved as well?
Yeah, I will like try other things because we cannot stick with just one thing. But all my ideas are around sticking noggles, because when you like create an audience for an account, if you post something really different from that content, very different, it won't work. That happened because I used two accounts for the main project, the first project. The secondary account already had like 8,000 followers. That was a huge account, but this account did not go viral because the content that I was posting before was totally different. So the account that went viral was the new account.
Okay.
That's because the audience was created for one type of content, the stickers. So I will experiment for new content, but around sticking noggles, like giving prizes and making challenges, things
Yeah,
like that.
I think that's fine. And if people resonated with that type of content, then I think it's interesting. What do you think people like about the sticker contest? Is it just because it implements some kind of like an IRL feel to it as well, or why do you think that that was such an effective campaign?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Yeah, just wondering why you think the stickers campaign worked so well to the
Yeah,
combination of IRL or
yeah, I think IRL is something very strong, and when people see you doing it, like in the real world, it's totally different. So, yeah, I think the IRL thing is very important.
okay, Lil Reps. What do you guys think? Any questions at all for JP?
Yeah, I have a question. I'm curious on what JP thinks like ties the stickers with the TikTok that makes it so successful. I'm honestly impressed by the 1 million views. I'm not into TikTok much, so I don't know how the metrics scale over to YouTube and other platforms. But it seems on surface level like it's getting a lot of exposure and it's doing the work of proliferation. So I'm just kind of curious, like, what do you think is getting folks excited and tying folks in besides maybe some of the A/B testing you've done with music? Is it something with the stickers? Is it something with the location? Like, could you tell us a little bit more about your secret sauce?
Cool. Yeah. I think, as I said, the main trigger is the curiosity. People get like, oh, I need to try to find this. So if you check the video, there are more than 600 comments, and most of them are like asking, "Do it in my city." Cities that I don't even know where they are. So, do it in my city, in my country. So, people like they want to be represented like, oh, there's a sticker in my city, even they don't know what is this. So they got curious about what is this, and they want to try to find it. So they ask for their cities. And there are some people like in my city, Rio, saying they found it, but actually they didn't, because they didn't got they recorded any video. So they just want to be part of it. So they say, "Oh, I found it," or "Do it in my city," and people keep asking to what is this. So it's a curiosity thing, in my opinion.
So I've seen videos similar to this on TikTok and on Instagram as well, where they hide money. I think that's probably the closest comparison to what you're doing. People will hide, a $50 bill under a rock, and they'll say, "Come find it," and those
Yeah,
videos go viral.
yeah,
It's almost like Pokemon Go for TikTok, when these people
yeah,
want
yeah.
something
You're right.
Yeah,
and
right.
bring them
Totally.
outside.
When you challenge people, they feel like, oh, I need to do that to be part of it. So it's kind of like that.
There's something
Interesting.
about the like competitive nature or like the adventure behind trying to go and find this thing. If you learn it's in your city, even if you don't know what it is, there's something like, yeah, like you mentioned, the curiosity aspect. It's like
Yeah.
exciting.
So if someone finds the noggles, do they win a prize? I might have missed that part, but is that, or is it just the fun of finding the noggles?
Yeah, as I didn't have money to put in this project at the beginning, I was not planning that. So, but now I asked, I'm in prop house, but I asked too for an SFW to like a little budget for prizes too. So I can try something like that. If people find it, they can get some merch or money.
I,
So
I think
I
that's
will
an
try something.
important part. Like, I think if it went this viral already, just with people being like, "I want to go find the noggles," I think if you put like, $20 on the noggles, or like said, if you get $20 in ETH or whatever, if you find the noggles, and retweet or stitch or whatever, I think that could even push it to the next level for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm planning something like not just giving money for finding, but how to make people really involved in the nouns community. Like how to make them feel part of it after finding, and not ending their journey when they find it. You got it?
And how will you do? How do you think you'll be able to do that?
Yeah, it's part of the plan to build a landing page, like explaining the project and explaining Nouns like in link it in the TikTok account, and make people like more competitive, like making ranking or something. But I have to think more and test more about it, like experiment with prizes. I just don't have the money to do that yet.
No, I agree. I think that's fine, but I do think that it should be included as like a goal of the proposal. And I'll have to read it over again to see if it was in there. But I think aligning those incentives, and like maybe even putting part of the prop house up as a prize would be, a good show of like that you understand the incentives that you can sort of set up to get people interested in doing it, and also just outlining exactly how you'll onboard them to nouns if they participate.
I feel like that last component might be the most challenging part, but if like well thought out, that this could be just like a very interesting on the ground onboarding initiative. Because yeah,
And
like you
like
said, like you find it and then what? Like if you can figure out that last component, that's
Yeah,
amazing. That
sure.
And I mean, I
Yeah,
think that's
that's
fine.
how.
Like if you look at like Andre the Giant campaign that was done by Mike Mongo and sorry, what's his name? Shepard. I'm losing his name, but anyway, when they did that campaign, a very famous viral campaign. Sorry,
Shepherd Ferry.
thank you, Shepard Ferry. When they did that campaign, like you couldn't really probably figure out the metrics of what people retained when they saw that image, but it just left an
right.
imprint on their brain. And I think that's fine too, like just to proliferate the noggles for the sake of proliferation, even if right away they don't even know what they're looking at. But it would be like a nice stretch goal to be able to actually convert some of those views into actual builders. And I know now Del Brazil and Nouns in Rio both do that really well, so I'm sure JP will be able to combine those efforts to get people involved. It's nice to know that you have those communities to fall back on.
Yeah, thank you, Tori. Thank you very much. I know. I mean, this like people had to win something is really important. But what I noticed is that very few people were asking about prices, like what did I get if I find. Most people were like engaged in find it, and so yeah, this first part of just proliferating is amazing, but we have to work on the last part as well. Sure.
Awesome. Any other questions for JP before we move along to our next pitcher?
No, thanks for everything.
All right, last moment of truth here for you, JP. Talk to Lil Reps. Why should they allocate you some of their votes this round?
Cool. So I've been testing this for like 3 weeks. Before the prop house go now make nouns go viral round, and I got more than 1 million views in like with 9 videos. So and testing with 2 accounts. So I wanna do that, but for 2 months and working like at least 3 hours a day, recording videos on the street and testing a lot and answering and replying to comments. So it's that. Yeah, I think we have a lot of potential in this project. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining, JP. I see you're repping your Brazil jersey, still celebrating from yesterday's win. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I think Brazil will win
the
this
highlight
one.
of the World Cup, I have to admit that that goal was something else.
Yeah, amazing, right? Richarlison is the man.
I don't even know how you have the confidence to try to pull off that goal in World Cup play. But anyways, we're off topic now. All right, our next guest that we're going to have on stage here to talk about their prop is Becco. Becco, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me? Is my microphone working okay?
Yeah, working great, and I want to thank you for joining us, even though it's extremely early where you are. What time is it right now?
Oh, Tony, it's only 20 past 6, so it's not extremely early, but it is quite early. Yeah.
I think that's pretty extremely early in the Nouniverse, I think. So
Sure,
appreciate you joining us. I really wanted to have you on to talk about your proposal because it's definitely different. It's different than a lot of the proposals that we see come through on chain or prop house. So first of all, can you just tell us a little bit about how you found out about Nouns? I saw in your bio that you're working with Nounish, so I assume you might have come via those folks, via Goldie and 142.
Yeah, this is a great question to start actually, because I've been working with Nounish and really have dived into the world of nouns pretty heavily over the past sort of 6 months. And one of the things that I'm working on at the moment is a video about Prop House and about getting people to come to Prop House and understand Prop House. And I was like, how do I share nouns with people that perhaps aren't like really into NFTs or Web3, don't really know a lot about that? How do I kind of even begin explaining Prop House?
Yeah.
And I watched your interview that you did with the Prince of Prop House, and he sort of had that great advice about, thinking about what you're good at and what your niche is. And so I thought, well, if I want to be able to explain Prop House to people that kind of are brand new to this, then what would my niche be? And maybe I just do a pitch about something that I'm really good at, and then I can kind of record the process of doing a pitch on Prop House, the process of, even like I've recorded like how I got my wallet organized and, all of that sort of the discussion around like that I've had with Goldie about what sort of thing I wanted to put in the pitch. And so it's kind of come from that area of wanting to explain Prop House to people that know nothing about nouns.
So I didn't even know that side of it, but that makes it even more cool. It's like a very meta proposal.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
That's really cool. Okay, well, let's get into the meat of the actual proposal now, and maybe we'll circle back around to the idea of making a how-to for Prop House while actually making a proposal on Prop House. I mean, I have to admit the true meta would have been for your proposal to be for making a video about making a proposal on Prop House, but we'll let it slide this time. And
maybe
we'll talk about...
I do. Maybe I'll sing an a cappella song about making a proposal. No, I don't know.
All right. So now the proposal is called, I've pinned it above. It's called Nounish a cappella Christmas song. Tell us about your group, Ginger and Tonic, and tell us about what you're planning to do if you win this Prop House round.
Yeah, for sure. So I sing in an a cappella group called Ginger and Tonic. We've been around for over a decade. I have we've sung at festivals all over the world, and we've got a couple of albums recorded. And yeah, so we're just sort of like mostly live performance. We do have some sort of videos, but they're kind of like there's not a lot. Um, and I thought it would be really, really cute to have a Nounish Christmas carol sung by us, just a short little video that uses the words nouns, uses maybe like some lyrics um, about nounish culture, and we can all wear noggles and nounish merch as well, and just have like a little clip of a little Christmas song that can be shared within the nouns community for sure, but then get spread further afield as well, and potentially spark a little bit of interest in what this is all about.
I think that's super cool. There's something very nounish about Christmas carols. I don't know why that is.
Yes, and a cappella too. I think I mean a cappella is such an interesting art form because it is so pitchy and um I don't know, like daggy in this like very adorable way, but it takes a lot of skill and it takes a lot of yeah talent and skill and um
being
yeah.
able to coordinate.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So very much it's impressive. It can't, you know, singing without instruments and it sounding wicked is impressive.
Yeah, and I think people love to watch that kind of content. Like if you look at some of the bigger groups like Pentatonics and some of those, you know, they go super viral with their songs, and I think many of their Christmas songs are probably some of their most popular songs too.
Yeah, absolutely. They're almost like the new Michael Bublé, Mariah Carey of Christmas Pentatonics are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think you're right. Like a cappella plus Christmas is kind of magic, and then it sort of all feels nounish as well. One of my favorite things about this prop is just that it's different. I love to see like new builders, different types of builders, applying their skills and like figuring out ways to proliferate nouns because people are always asking like how can I do something for nouns? I don't know how to code or I don't know this, and this just proves that like if you are creative, you can think of ways to to contribute to the ecosystem in ways that are maybe not traditional Web3.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, for me, I'm really so interested to see more props from women and non-binary
Mm-hmm.
people, and you know, I was like, well, I've got to put my sort of prop where my mouth is because I keep like trying to like talk to people and be like, oh, you need to build on nouns. You should get into nouns. You should do a proposal for nouns. And I'm like, you know, talking about it all the time. And I'm like, well, I should do a proposal for nouns. So yeah, I actually am like super stoked to have just got a proposal up and I've learned how to do it.
What is the going back to full circle now to the start where you talked about how you've basically recorded your process of going through this as someone who was new to nouns. What was the hardest part for you to grok from start to finish about getting this prop on chain?
I know it seems incredibly easy now that I've done it, but I think the thing that sort of made me feel a bit confused was getting a ETH wallet.
Yeah.
Like I have got some crypto, but I've got it through like other sort of organizations, and I had never had like an ETH wallet, but I had 142 helped me kind of do that, and he was like, it was just so easy and straightforward. But I think that I had a lot of sort of fear or oh, I don't know anything about that to begin with, that I just needed someone to sort of show me and be like, this is not that difficult. In fact, it's really, really simple. So that was something definitely. And I guess
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of
yeah,
funny when you're really immersed in a certain ecosystem. We forget what it was like to learn at that that early stage. And I've made this joke before, but like sometimes I'll be talking to one of my normie friends and they're asking me about work, and I go into this one story and like and this actually happened where like I told a story about something and it was like 2 minutes in, and then my friend stopped me and he's like, okay, sorry, can you go back, what's minting? And it was just like the most
yes.
it was the most simple part of the story at the very start. I'm like, okay, we'll
Oh
start
my
over.
gosh.
And You just forget
Yes,
that people
this
don't
is like
notice
what
it.
we talk about at Nounish all the time. It's like, how do we explain this without using the word NFT? How do we explain this without using the word decentralized? How do we explain this without using the word, yeah, like minting? It's kind of, it's a really fun challenge to maybe like try and simplify the ecosystem as much as possible, kind of like
Yeah.
nouns for dummies, or like
That
not
gives me a
dummies, but
really
like
great
newbies.
that gives me a really great idea for a contest for us to host here on the Noun Square. Would be for people to do a quick video explaining nouns without using the word NFT.
I
Or
love that. Please do that.
yeah, that'd
That'd
be
be
a
a good
super.
competition.
Yeah, I think it would. It's hard. Like I've had to do it myself many times, and I've tried a few different ways, and I've got kind of ways now that I talk about it. But
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
try never to use the word NFT. Not just because we're in a bear market, but just because it's really not the best characterization of what the community is about.
No.
It's kind of like a community that's a brand that's bootstrapped. Leveraging NFT technology as like a fundraising mechanism, but
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well
Yeah, I
said.
mean, I could talk about that all day. Like, yeah, it is, you're absolutely right. And I think sometimes, especially for, I mean, in my circle, women that are not techie, like they might hear the word NFT and they just get turned off straight away. So I think, I mean, that this brings me kind of back to my pitch, like having a group like us do something for nouns and say this is built on nouns, this is part of an NFT project, is a really kind of intriguing entry point for people that might not think that this is a world for them.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Lil Reps, do you have any questions for Becco about her prop?
Quick question. Do any of you have in real life noggles?
Oh yeah, we've got heaps. Yeah, we've
Okay,
got
good.
yeah, I've got like a few different types. We've got some of the big like sort of plasticky ones, and then
Mhm.
actually at our Nounish office we have a few pairs of the luxury glasses as well. So we're
Oh,
like
good.
we're pretty set for noggles.
I still need some of those myself.
Oh, they're so cool.
I will get some during Art Basel. That's my
Do
mission.
it. Yes.
So you're all set up on the costumes front. I saw that in the prop too, that you're planning to have some nounish get-ups in the video, which is cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And speaking of videos, I did just post a video of one of your songs if anyone wants to save it and listen to it after the fact.
Oh, great.
Don't listen to it now. Stay tuned in. Don't touch that dial. But afterwards,
Too
you can
late.
definitely do that. Brooke, no. Any other reps have questions about Becco's prop before I ask her for her final pitch?
No questions, but one comment is I like the holiday theme, mixing nounish with the holidays. I thought that's pretty nice. And I also like the bit about the onboarding experience into Prop House. I think that it can be a little intimidating to figure out how the ecosystem works, but kind of once you figure it out, it becomes more intuitive. So I kind of like that bit as well. Just wanted to add that comment.
The only thing is that even though it's a really good prop, maybe we should make her lose just so she can document that part of the experience as well, because that's important as well.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding.
I'll do it. I'll do another one we can
A
move.
story of resilience.
No, that's okay. We can have a happy story of success. That works as well for the documentary. All right. Final pitch, Becco, for the Little Reps. Why should Little Nouns give some votes your way for your prop?
Okay, I think some votes should come the way of Nounish Acapella Christmas song and video, because I think it's it's the perfect time of year to share some Nounish holiday spirit with people within the community, but more importantly with people that are brand new to Nouns, don't know anything about it, and to bring them in like a really fun, festive way to this awesome DAO.
Amazing.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
again for
you.
joining us.
Thanks so much for having me, Toadie. It's been great.
We'll have to have you on sometime on the Noun Square at 9 o'clock, and maybe you and your ginger and tonic group can like come and perform for us or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that sounds awesome.
By the way, when I see ginger and tonic, I just I picture someone going to the bar and ordering that all night and wondering why they're not getting buzzed. Wait a minute, that's just two mixers. All right. We'll have you on sometime soon. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much.
Our next pitcher is Charlie Crypto. He's got his McDonald's hat on here, on his punk for the bear market. How are you, Charlie?
How are you? How are you, Tony?
I'm doing great. I've got your prop pinned above. It's called Learning English with Nouns. Tell us about your idea, please.
Yeah, I was here yesterday and the wrong call, I think. But I was telling you about my proposal. Learning English with Nouns is an initiative to teach English to Latin American children for free and fun. Basically, the idea is to create a complete series in the future to teach children English from the most basic to the more advanced concept. Um,
Yeah, I think that's cool. And it sounds like you have a site already called cryptoeducation.com.mx. And so that is already an education site about crypto in Spanish. Is that correct?
yeah, the education will be all in Spanish
Yeah.
because it's for the Latin American children.
Hmm. Awesome. So what kind of a learning process would this be? Is it a website? Is it like a one-on-one course for these kids, or how will you be teaching them English, and how will you be using nouns for that?
Hey, Charlie, I think you muted yourself.
Sorry,
You're okay.
our,
You're okay.
our idea is upload the series on YouTube Kids, and then we'll do a web page to upload the series.
Oh, to upload the series? Is that what you said?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you. It's going kind of in and out, but I'm looking at your existing site, cryptoeducation.com. Very nice site, and it
It's
is
very clean.
basically, yeah, very clean. It just says, learn something new, in Spanish, obviously, and then you've got different. It looks like courses or seminars that people can take. So would it be this kind of a similar website, but it would be specifically to learn English, and it would be using Nounish art?
Yeah, exactly. On a specific website to improve the experience of the students. You know.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah. Initially, we are our idea is to upload the series on YouTube Kids. All right. And then we're gonna make a specific website to improve the experience of the students. Maybe in another in 2 or 3 weeks, maybe.
Okay. So what's the main deliverable, or what's the main thing that you guys will do if you win this one ETH? What do you plan to deliver? I see you have future plans, which is awesome. It's good to have, plans to roll this into something bigger. But for one ETH, what will you guys be delivering? That's a video, right? Is that what I'm reading correctly? You'll be making one video lesson?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing as well.
Charlie, you're muted again, my
Yeah,
friend.
yeah. The idea is a video, a class in a video, an
Yeah.
interactive video, really.
Okay.
Oh,
So it's like, will it be on YouTube, or will it be on its own site to start, or is it where do you plan to host that?
Yeah, to start, we upload the series on YouTube Kids,
Okay.
for free, obviously.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. Any questions from the Lil Reps about Charlie's plan to make an interactive video as a minimum viable product for a potential future website to teach children English using Nounish imagery?
Not much feedback. One thing that comes to mind is a proposal that we had on our own chain from a fellow little nouner, Mike Good. He did a Nouns 101, which is about Web3 onboarding. A little different than this prop with English, but it kind of brings that to mind. Charlie, it might help to reach out to Mike and sync with him. He's a little nouner, very active in the community, and seeing kind of maybe getting some pointers, some tips, maybe even collaboration with the little
yeah.
nouns.
I see him throwing up emojis right now in the audience.
Mike Good's down. his little rat in a trash can likes this idea.
That's so funny.
Any other questions or comments from the little reps for Charlie? I personally think there is a huge opportunity for nouns to be used in educational materials. I haven't seen it done very much yet. It's possible I've missed some efforts to do so, but I just think nouns are such like a friendly and kid friendly art. Even more so, little nouns maybe, but in general, just all nounish art tends to be really good for kids and adults alike. And I think it'll be really, first of all, free to use. So why not with CC0? And secondly, if kids really resonate with it and it works well to teach them something, then that's even better. So I think a lot of people probably have really great ideas about ways and methods to teach kids English or anything else. And maybe they just don't have the chops to create their own art, or they don't have the money to pay an illustrator. And so that's one way that sort of CC0 art like nouns can step in and say, hey, use this. All you need to be able to use is Photoshop or, MS Paint, and you can make something for an educational purpose.
Of course, sadly, many children in Latin America do not have access to free English classes, and the idea is to help them to improve their lives.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. How do you anticipate being able to make sure that these kids can see that this is available? Just through, like, if you just throw it up, for example, on YouTube Kids. I haven't had any experience with YouTube Kids, but how does that algorithm work? Do you anticipate it'll be easy or hard to get that across the feeds of the parents who will want to show it to their children, or what's the process for trying to get the word out about that?
Well, the classes will be quite simple, and the idea is that the animation is visually striking. And obviously, we are gonna begin with a trailer, with a pilot, and then we're gonna make more complex classes. But yeah, that's it.
Have you had any experience making a trailer or a video before? I noticed that you mentioned a filmmaker on your prop who has some experience. I'm assuming making films. Does he have experience sort of with the YouTube algorithm and trying to make sure people can see what you're putting out there?
Yeah, we have a fine production company, and my partner it's a filmer.
Yeah.
And we have all the computers. I have the voice actors and everything.
Okay, great. Anyone else have any questions before we move along from this particular proposal from Charlie?
My one last question is impact. So, how will you measure the effectiveness and impact of this program? And I think that's kind of one challenge with onboarding education is getting that pipeline and then documenting that and then kind of making progress over time.
That's a good question, Charlie. Do you have any thoughts or plans on how you can measure if that teaser is getting good interest?
Yeah, give me a second.
Are you there, Charlie, or is there something you didn't understand about the question? We
Yeah,
can repeat.
give me a little second. Sorry.
Okay. After this, we're going to move along to our next individual who's coming up to tell us about his prop, Mr. Blooms. So Blooms, be ready. You're coming on deck next.
Blooms, who's that guy? Never heard of him.
No, I've never seen him around.
He must be new.
Charlie, if you're available to answer the
Sorry.
question now, then yeah, that'd be great. And otherwise, we'll have to come back to you later.
Well, the idea is to promote the project as a free English course, and that should serve to promote the project and reach a large number of children.
Hmm.
Maybe on Twitter and on the ads of YouTube, on the apps of Google, and a little bit more.
Okay, great. Well, it sounds like a good initiative and some good early seed ideas, and we wish you the best of luck with it. Let us know either way how this prop house goes if you need support with this, because I think it is a really important initiative. So stick around the Noun Square. If you have questions about it, you can come back on to future soapboxes and get advice. And the big thing about prop house is iteration. So if for whatever reason this round doesn't work out, always make sure that we make changes and we try again, because I do think that it's important to get this type of system and materials out into the hands of kids. So thank you for what you're doing.
Thanks to you, Tauti. And excuse me, I got a little nervous talking.
No, that's okay. And I really respect people who come on these spaces in their second languages, and it's not easy. So I really appreciate you coming on to tell us about your idea. All right. We've got Blooms in season who's going to join us in his second language. His first language is nouns. Hey, Blooms.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, welcome to Little Nouns.
Yeah, welcome to Little Nouns. That's a really cool mushroom you've got there. I like that guy.
Isn't it beautiful?
Beautiful little mushroom. You've got an interesting prop. You've always got like interesting things that you're working on. I feel like you're just like an elf back in your little workshop, and you're always working on something interesting. So, what does the elf put into the prop house for this round?
Yes. So I put a few in this round.
I'm looking at the nouns wooden sculpture one. So if we can talk about that one first, and then if there's time, we can talk about your other props as well.
Absolutely. So this one I've been wanting to do for quite some time. I'm very inspired by an artist that I follow, and he makes these quite amazing sculptures that are interactive with sound, and I think it would be an amazing interaction to be able to have one of these sculptures at ETH Denver this year coming up. There's all sorts of, there's so many people that come from around the world, and this is the type of thing that gets people to walk up to it and say, what's going on here? What is this? And, what's the ethos behind this? So that's kind of the gist for creating the sculpture. I want to do, it's going to be a wood sculpture, and it will have a few speakers inside the sculpture with a Bluetooth receiver being able to receive any outside signal to be able to play music, host podcasts, all kinds of different stuff through this sculpture.
That's pretty cool. I have to say that the wooden sculpture that you have in the prop looks pretty cool. Is that one that you've created yourself?
That is not one I've created myself. I wish I could tout my talents like that. But that is from the artist that I'm taking inspiration from.
Okay.
So yeah, he's an awesome artist. His name's Alex Yanes.
Are you or are you not as good as this guy? I'm just kidding.
I'd say yes and no.
That's right. Don't sell yourself short. No, I like the style a lot. The colors kind of remind me of like a 90s sort of feel with like a tropical element. Is that what you're kind of going for too? Especially the second one, it looks like a 90s skeleton. Is that kind of the aesthetic that you're going for, or do you have a different aesthetic in mind?
That's kind of the aesthetic I was wanting to go for, and that's why I included that second picture, because it's got the glasses, so you can kind of imagine, something along those lines with the nouns glasses, but maybe a bit bigger, like the first picture. So definitely going to go for that fun poppy aesthetic, bright colored, draws people in.
Yeah, I think it's cool. If Nouns Latam showed us anything too with these conferences, people really gravitate to colorful, interesting installations of art. They had those little nounish villages, or I don't know if you call it a living room, with all the little nouns that they had in Bogota, and I guess people were really really interested in it, attracted a lot of people over. So I think it could be something similar, especially with the added element of having the music playing as well. Maybe some music from Woody or from Mike would be kind of cool to integrate.
And that's what I was thinking. That's the whole idea is, just to kind of really take it full circle, to be able to have something like this at things like Art Basel next year, in East Denver, and just South by Southwest, and potentially be having Noun O'Clock held, and broadcasted to everybody through this sculpture. I think it would be really fun.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. The first Noun Square broadcast from a wooden tiki sculpture.
That's right.
Cool idea. Any questions from the other Lil Reps? I see. Is that you, SQ?
It is. I never have questions for Bloms. The tiki sculptures. If you can do anything like what I'm looking at, those are pretty awesome. But Bloms, yeah, he always comes with the ideas, which is great. Some of them work, some of them don't. But the more ideas you have, eventually you end up finding the funnel.
Yeah.
No, but I wanted to come in. I completely messed up the POAP yesterday, but we have a POAP here today, and it just went live. So I wanted to come in and make sure that everybody can claim that, because last time I think I hit it with like 10 seconds left on the clock, which didn't work. But if anybody was there yesterday and wants to come by, we have all the links. Reach out. We have a form that you can fill, and then we'll just airdrop it to you. But today,
so where should they do that? Where should they do that, SQ?
Tag Little Nouners on Twitter, and we will reach out to you, and probably either in DM or in the Discord, whichever is easier. And then it's just a Google form, and all you have to do is provide your wallet address, and then I can just airdrop them down to you.
If only there was a form you could use that used your wallet address instead of your Google address.
Very true. I actually have a meeting with Mr. Brian J. Early next week to discuss some things.
All right. Yeah. Do you have a pop for today as well? Because we could probably take a break here and give.
No, I do. That's why I quickly came on here. That's
all
why.
Right. That's good.
So today's POEP, the Proof of Attendance Protocol. It's an app in the web store, I believe. That they're in the. Is that even? Did I just use like some
the web store? The web store kind of sounds like your grandmother calling it the Google, but
did that just happen?
What you do is you go to Google and you put in the poapp.xyz.
But yeah, so open that up. There's a mint button down in the bottom right. You will have a secret word. Click on the secret word, and the secret word for today.
That's the POAP sound.
Lil Governance. Lil. I wrote it down somewhere, but I should know how to spell it, I suppose. Governance. Lil Governance.
I love when you realize that you gave yourself a spelling test, right? Like a live spelling test by mistake.
Yeah, no, I'm like looking at my notepad, which just has words everywhere now. And,
you were about to pause and ask yourself to use it in a sentence. I could hear you. Lil Governance. Right? Can you use that in a sentence, please? Choking on my own. LILGOVERNANCE. It worked for me. Everybody got their POAP. Show your emojis if you got your POAP. Free NFTs. Who doesn't want free NFTs?
Yes,
I got to tell you.
Final round of the PPP, the Perpetual POAP program that we run from Graphicography. And we love it. He didn't have time due to time constraints to get it. And normally our gifts that are moving around, they're great.
For those who don't know what the PPP is, it's a program that aims to create energy out of thin air to solve the energy crisis.
It's high marks, lots of energy.
Going well, lots of energy, lots of recycled energy in the PPP program. Love it. All right, I have to say my my POAP collection has gotten a lot nicer since the Noun Square. I had only a couple little POAPs before, but if you open my my address on POAP now. I've got, well, at least one a day for the past 160 days. So if you hang around the Noun Square, you're going to get a lot of free NFTs. That's all I can say. And now with Nomo too, wow, like RIP my wallet. It's just full of POAPs and Nomos. All right, so we do have one other guest here. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. We have one more guest here. I can see how Dre was starting to get worried that I forgot about him. I didn't forget about you, Dre, and I appreciate you joining us. Dre, why don't you tell us a little bit about your prop? I'm going to grab it and make a tweet and pin it, and you can tell us a little bit about what you're working on, sir.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Hello, hello. Yeah, I
Um,
can hear you.
my poop was inspired by the Nows Give Back contest. During the process of sharing the cooked food to the homeless and the community members, I realized that my food were were very few to the beggars that were around. So the Christmas is coming. So in Nigeria, yeah, we celebrate Christmas by exchanging gifts, exchanging cooked food or raw food to the community. So I decided that I can use this medium to to share. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, so basically this sounds like it's essentially an extension of what you guys did for the Nouns Give Back campaign.
Yes, yes, yes. But with this we'll be giving like a thousands of homeless people and community members cook food, doing like a gift from now for the Christmas event.
Very cool. Well, I think public goods are very nounish. That's why we ran the Nouns Give Back campaign. For those that missed it or weren't fully aware of what we did, we had a TikTok contest with a pretty big prize of $5,000 for the top prize, and basically the idea was to do good in your community while repping nouns, and make a TikTok video about it. We entered that into the contest for nouns make nouns go viral, after getting over
Yes.
100,000, after making 100,000 impressions on TikTok, and yeah, no, and we were able to win one of the prizes for the Nouns Go Viral contest, which we now will be putting up again as another prize for another similar public good contest, which will be announced early next week. So that's kind of the Nouns Give Back initiative, and yeah, so Dre and his folks put together an entry where they did exactly this. They gave food to some of their homeless and some of the people in need within their community. And so, if I understand this correctly, Dre, this will be a new initiative, another initiative around Christmas to do
Yes,
something
yes,
similar.
yes, yes. It will be around Christmas.
All right, very cool. And what are the plans? Are you planning to make the meals and give them out? Are you going to make any videos or take any photos while
Yes, yes.
you're so we can
The
follow along?
a video editor will be with us, which will film all the things we are going to do, all the activities from
Yeah,
the cooking, with the sharing of the food to each community members and each elderly ones in the community, with the homeless in the community. So it will be uploaded on TikTok, on every social media that we have, and I'll talk with Davin to help us to upload it on the Nouns Africa as well.
very cool. Nouns Africa, which actually just launched this morning, live on TNS on Prof Werder's show. Just Dow It launched their token using Nouns Builder, and then they spoke about it, I believe, on International Nouns as well at 12 o'clock. So African nouns coming full circle today on the soapboxes. Any
So
questions from the reps about Dre's proposal? Sorry, go ahead, Dre.
we me and my team, we are dogs. in the proposal you can check our pictures. So everything will be transparent during the proposal. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Dre, for coming on. It's what time is it where you are?
This is 20:57 p.m.
Okay, so it's getting a little late at night, but I appreciate you joining us. Any questions from the Little Reps about what Dre is proposing to do if he wins the prop house? But as I said before, Reps, please don't all answer at the same time. It's hard to hear you when you all jump up. let's start with you.
I honestly don't know what to ask. I'm honestly thinking on it.
Well, I'll start by saying I think the public goods are extremely nounish, and I think it's pretty cool. I tried to, when we were inviting people for today, we wanted to do kind of a broad cross section of different types of proposals. We invited quite a few. Not everybody was able to come, but I appreciate those who were able to come. And one of the things I liked about this prop is just, it's pure public good. It's, we think that it's nounish to make food and go and give it to people who need it. And I agree. So I think it's great. It's very simple in that sense, but it is a very cool proposal. We do have SQ who we lost and is back. SQ, did you have something to say about this prop?
Yeah, no, I just kind of, it seemed like it needed a little love. Yeah, I agree. I think especially, as you said, this time of year, as we were going into our last prop house on, I was really, thinking that we should have had something for Thanksgiving, even small, even if it's regional. Love what Nouns Africa is doing. Caught a little bit of that Let's Dow It earlier this morning on the launch. And yeah, I just think it's super cool. And watching these communities grow too is just everything about it is nounish. So yeah, good luck, love. And I know Dre's always in there. He's kind of like Blom's. He's one of there's the prop house marauders, and I love all you. And yeah, so good luck.
Well, in his PFP there, he's wearing a Nouns head that he built, or one of his friends might have built for the Nounish costume contest that we ran for Halloween. So I know in the video that they did for Nouns Give Back, they were wearing those when they were handing out the food. So it was pretty cool imagery to see, and very Nounish in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm like a sucker for just like any sort of like giveaway like this. We're just like helping folks in need, or like this almost kind of reminds me of, I think it was Akfa back in the day, who was giving out like hoodies. In general, I'm just very, very fond and find stuff like this to be super nounish.
And by the way, by back in the day, you mean 2 weeks ago in NFT,
yeah,
in NFT weeks?
Probably closer to 2 weeks ago.
The before times. Baba, do you have any comments to add, or pizza?
Oh no, I'm actually not on Nounsel, or Little Reps rather.
That's okay. You can still talk. I thought maybe you were in the pizza oven. You didn't want to say anything because you're not fully baked yet.
Not fully baked yet. No.
Not fully baked.
The rule is if you come on stage, Toady might pick on you. So you just have to be aware of that. It's kind of like when you go to a comedy set and you sit right in the front row, like what's coming to you. Mike, good. How about you? Do you have any comments? He's probably making music, so.
And I'm not. I was actually reading the prop, and I couldn't turn my mic off or back on. But no, I love this. It's one of the core pillars of like being nounish, right? Like giving back and doing good. And like you said, at this time of the year, it just feels right and something that we should get behind. So yeah, I wish this prop a lot of luck.
Awesome. Thank you, Dre, for coming on. And I want to thank everybody else for joining us. This is a new show, a new format, and we're still kind of figuring out exactly how it should go. But I think it's a really cool opportunity to have people pitch and talk about their ideas. Pizza is just out of the oven, wants to let us know. What's up, Pizza?
Do we actually have time for Pizza to pitch his prop as well? He's actually got a prop house one up in this round as well.
Okay, yeah, we could do that, Pizza.
Hey, yeah, sorry. I saw you brought me up as a speaker, and I assumed you wanted me to pitch, but I totally should have checked with you beforehand.
No, that's fine.
I did. Yeah.
All good. I'm glad that you came up. So please tell us about your prop.
Yeah, so my prop, it's basically just kind of like an iOS app that's inspired by what Ripe created, which I actually only just discovered the other day, but Wright built this macOS app that was, I guess, funded probably about like 6 months ago, which, yeah, in the Nouns ecosystem is like a lifetime ago at this point. But it's basically just a little toolbar app that lets you copy the various Unicode noggles to your clipboard, so you don't have to go hunting for that Noundry site every time you want to copy paste noggles. And so I was thinking, okay, I'm one of the few iOS developers I know in the ecosystem with a paid developer account. I could totally build something like this and ship it to the App Store. So I've been working on this app the past few days. Yeah, it's essentially similar to what Wright built, but a app for iOS. And I also noticed when I Googled noggles the other day, nothing came up from the Nouniverse. So based on kind of the other apps I've released, anything that gets launched on the App Store is really prioritized SEO wise. So my app should be right at the top and kind of give some extra visibility to Noun. So yeah, it's a fairly straightforward project, but that's the gist.
Very
It's
cool.
cool. So I saw your original mock-up, and it was just like the original noggles, and then lately, or I guess recently, I saw you post another screen capture of it, and you had all different variations of the noggles, which I thought was super fun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a ton on that. I think it's the Noundation site. Yeah, there's a ton, but from Ripe's app, he only kind of included like maybe the top like 10 or so. But yeah, I just kind of put some of the most popular ones in there, but could definitely expand to all the kind of weird sub noggles that people like to use as well. I know he just recently shipped an update actually the other day that includes the noggles for the Builder DAO too. So yeah, excited to get that shipped.
Very cool. What do the reps think in 2 minutes or less? Baba, SQ, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, I don't know much about the Noggle app. I've seen it, but could you give us some detail on like what it does? Is it showing the Noggle generated every day from the Nouns builder? Can you give us detail on that, little pizza?
Yeah, so it's I think he originally pitched it as an app to be released to macOS and Windows, but I think he maybe only released the macOS version. It's basically just a toolbar app. So I don't know if you use macOS, Baba, but if you are just kind of like, browsing on your computer, you'll have, kind of your Wi-Fi icon, your sound icon at the top, and it just kind of rests up there so that anytime you're using a computer, you just can click and easily just copy those noggles to your clipboard. So it's a super, super simple app, but it serves a pretty useful purpose, especially if you have an NNS address. And, I don't know about you guys that use NNS, but I generally have to go hunting just with Google searches to find some noggles to copy paste when I'm trying to just send that in a chat or something. So it's mostly just a convenience app. But in this case, if you have an iOS device, the icon could just sit on your home screen. And rather than having to open a web browser and go searching for the noggles, you could just quickly open it up, copy it to your clipboard. And in fact, if you use a Mac and an iOS device, there's kind of like cross compatibility with the clipboard as well. So you could copy it on your iOS device and then be
Which
able to
by the
paste on
way,
your Mac too.
which by the way is actually a better invention than the iPad, the iPhone, anything else Apple's ever done is cross-device copy paste. Fight me.
I know, I love it. It's nice. It's nice. I don't know how many
That's
other
so
people use
nice.
that, but it would also be a nice side effect as well. But there's also Ripe's app too, so just kind of covering both bases for the Mac and iOS users essentially.
I think the reason why it's so good is that it's like novel enough that it still feels magic. That quote from who said that basically anything that's any technology that is sufficiently advanced is indistinguishable from magic. It's like this is the perfect example of that. It's like, how did my computer know that I copied it on
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway?
it's nice when it works. And I think in the past there was some kind of bugs with it, but it's been pretty seamless now for the past few years, which is nice.
Yeah, Handshake used to be really buggy, but now it seems to work all the time. So very, very
Indeed.
cool. I think that's it's neat for people that post the noggles a lot, and a lot of us here probably do. I think it sounds pretty useful, and even just I like the angle that you mentioned that if you search for apps on the App Store, like even just almost like an App Store SEO reason, like SEO reason, like there's nothing there for nouns or very few things. So I think that's kind of a cool reason as well.
Yeah, like the other two apps I built, when I Google the names on Google, they're the top result. And so I imagine once I get this shipped, as soon as you Google noggles, my app will be at the top. So that could potentially be a funnel for people to kind of understand what noggles and nouns are as well. So I'll definitely want to make sure that there is a good, solid description so that people can kind of dive into the Nouniverse after finding the app, hopefully.
I'm not trying to brag. I have the noggles saved in a note, so I'm a bit of a developer myself.
No big
Hey,
deal.
there you go. That's a good solution. Yeah,
No,
I probably should have done that before, but since I built this, I've been dog fooding it and just really loving the convenience of just being able to whip open that app and copy pasta instead of having to go hunting. So
for sure.
yeah, that's
That's one
also
of
a
my
good
favorite.
solution.
That's one of my favorite terms. Dog fooding. What does that mean for those who are listening who don't know what that term means?
Yeah, so dog fooding just means if you're building something, just using it yourself a lot because it helps you to better understand um, some of the pitfalls and some of the issues you're running into. Yeah, that's kind of why I
Hopefully
generally
it's
like to build stuff that I like because it helps me build a better product rather than something that I
hopefully it's
wouldn't
not
really
a
want to use.
term. Hopefully it's not a term actually borrowed from dog food manufacturers.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's a weird origin. I can't really remember where it came from, but yeah, I guess the developers use it a lot.
There's that one,
It's a
and then
strange one.
there's bike shedding. We should start doing episodes on the Noun Square of all these weird VC and tech terms. All right, well, that's all the time we have, and then some for today. But I'm really
Thanks,
glad
Tony.
you were able to come and chat about that, and as well as everyone else who joined us. Thank you, Becco, for talking about your idea, and Charlie as well, and Dre and Blooms and JP. Really appreciate all your time. The Lil Reps will now return to their lair. They do have a lair. It's quite little, and they'll talk about everything that happened today, and they'll decide how to allocate their votes on behalf of Little Nouns, which does own 8 nouns. So that's quite a few votes that are going to be cast based on both the discussions here today and review of all the props that are on Prop House. And hopefully you guys will join us back here next week, same time, same bad channel, for similar kind of content. And as far as the Noun Square goes, we've had 3 soapboxes already today, so we're off to a good start. Now we have a little break, and we will reconvene, I think, just after 6:30, if I'm not mistaken, for 9 o'clock live, which happens every day at the end of the Nouns auction. We watch the end of the auction together. We play a little bit of FOMO, a fun game that is around picking the new noun for today. We play another game called Nomo, so a lot of fun, a lot of game playing. And then we have a guest, and our guest today, he calls himself Rocket Man, and he just released a new product called Launchpad, Nouns Launchpad, which he describes as a product hunter for nouns. So it should be really interesting to hear his story and what he's working on. And I think that's everything. Anything to add there, Al?
No, I just want to thank you again for coming and doing a fantastic job hosting us. We really appreciate having you here, helping us with Little Rep Soapbox. And yeah, this is only our second space, so thank you all who have tuned in and come and pitch today. We're hoping to continue to do a lot more of these.
I think it's really great too because
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
we've been doing similar spaces. I've been doing similar spaces for Prop House since February. We do try to do like Shark Tanks and focuses on different prop house rounds. But there's always people, no matter what, who come up to me after or during and say, I didn't get a chance to pitch. Can I talk about my prop? So having more of these spaces where people can come and talk about what they're building is better. So I think it's great.
Yeah, thanks for making time for me, man. I appreciate it.
No problem, Pizza.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
It's okay. I'm glad you were able to get yourself into the oven, and we were able to get you out in time. You weren't burnt, and we were able to hear about your idea. Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Take care, everyone. See y'all later.
Have a good weekend.
Should we have a little air horn?
I really need to get a soundboard.
Wait, I gotta find the best one, the best little one. Give me a second. No, that's not it. This is the best one, the best little one that Woody has made. 2 spaces down. Coming next week. See you then.